Listen to the roar of the crowd. Filipino greatness is always on display, shining bright just like Alex dominating the game. With every victory, the globe pays attention because we are the ones shaking up the status quo. These are tales of pure heart and inspiration that have completely stunned the international stage. We took the world by surprise, becoming the hot topic on everyone's lips across the planet. Alexandra Eala, the Philippines tennis sensation, is commanding center stage once again, this time in California for the BNP Paribas Open at Indian Wells. Armed with her fresh career-high ranking of world number 31, the limelight shining on her has never been more intense. She is set for stadium court battles with a first-round bye as a seeded player, drawing massive crowds that bring a rock concert energy whenever she plays. Boom! At just 20 years old, Alex detonated onto the scene after a quarter-final sprint in Dubai, catapulted her to number 31 in the WTA. Thanks to that performance, she secured an automatic seed at a WTA 1000 event, marking a colossal milestone in her journey. Social media feeds are overflowing with hype, as fans from every corner of the globe wait with bated breath. People are awestruck by her power to pull in a crowd and turn every match into a spectacle. She admitted herself that seeing packed stadiums feels absolutely surreal. It is undeniable proof that her stardom has hit a new stratosphere, yet this ascent was far from a walk in the park. As her ranking climbs, so does the crushing pressure of representing the Philippines, battling through injuries, gut-wrenching losses, and the heavy weight of fan expectations. Walking that tightrope is no laughing matter. While critics might claim the hype is overblown, admiration for her prevails because of her pristine image, genuine humility, and approachable nature. Even in the face of heartbreaking defeats, she maintains her composure and gratitude, making her impact undeniably felt on the global stage. Countless young girls across Asia are finding inspiration, bringing focus to Southeast Asian tennis and expanding the reach of the women's game. Ticket sales are skyrocketing, brands are clamoring for partnerships, and her every appearance feels like a major cultural event. For us, this is the definition of national pride. Alex proves that Filipino blood has what it takes to stand toe-to-toe with the biggest and best in the world. The burning question now is, what kind of fireworks will she unleash next at Indian Wells? It is the conversation heard round the world. Alexandra Eala, the Filipino tennis phenomenon, is back in the global crosshairs as the BNP Paribas Open approaches in California. Riding the wave of her newly minted career-high status, a world number 31 ranking, the buzz surrounding her name has reached a fever pitch. She is no longer just another name on the roster at a WTA 1000 event. She enters as a seeded contender with a first-round bye, guaranteed primetime exposure in the main stadium, ready to perform before thousands of screaming fans. Reaching this career altitude at only 20 years old marks a palpable shift from being a rising prospect to a certified main attraction. Her explosive quarterfinal run in Dubai served as the monumental turning point in her narrative. That was where she harvested the crucial points that propelled her all the way to the 31st spot in the WTA standings. This achievement completely alters her trajectory on the tour. Being seated at a major like Indian Wells means elite treatment, a strategic advantage in the draw, and vastly higher stakes. It is not just the numbers that have skyrocketed, but the anticipation of fans across the globe, causing social media platforms to absolutely erupt with excitement. Highlights of her matches, practice sessions, and interviews go viral instantly because there is a unique electricity whenever Alex steps onto the court. It feels like a rock concert atmosphere, and she has personally shared how incredible it is to witness stadiums filling to the brim just to watch her play. For a Filipina athlete hailing from a nation not traditionally known as a tennis powerhouse, this is a monumental achievement. She represents far more than just herself. She carries the entire weight of the Philippine flag and the hopes of Southeast Asia on her shoulders. Yet, behind the glare of the spotlight, the pressure is anything but a joke. As the rankings rise, the scrutiny sharpens, with skeptics whispering that the hype is moving too fast and demanding more titles to justify the frenzy. However, respect for her ultimately wins out because of her unwavering professionalism and grounded humility. You will find zero controversy and absolutely no drama, just pure grind and a laser focus on constant improvement. Even in defeat, she thanks the crowd and her supporters, which is exactly why fans are becoming so emotionally invested in her journey. From training abroad at the Rafa Nadal Academy to hopping across continents, she battles jet lag and the brutal physical demands of the tour. It is all part of the daily grind, filled with injuries, early exits, and heartbreaking showdowns against higher-ranked giants. Yet she turns every single setback into high-octane fuel, proving she is not the type to crumble under pressure. She only gets tougher when the heat is on, and Indian Wells is no longer just another tournament for Alex. This is the arena where her new status as a top 31 player in the world will be put to the ultimate test. And judging by her unstoppable momentum, she looks more than ready to embrace the blinding glare of the main stage. As the countdown to her seeded debut at Indian Wells begins, the global buzz surrounding Alexandra is reaching a fever pitch. It is not just the tennis pundits whispering her name anymore. Mainstream giants and Asian athletic communities alike are locked in. Cracking the world top 31 is more than just a statistic on a leaderboard. It is the golden key unlocking a universe of major possibilities. We are talking primetime television features, center court showcases, and facing off against the absolute cream of the crop. Her supporters are riding an emotional high, swelling with pride not just for her wins, but for the grace she displays under the spotlight. Success has not warped her character. She remains the same articulate, soft-spoken, and remarkably grounded individual. Whenever she speaks to the press, she exudes a level of wisdom and maturity that far exceeds her chronological age. Ask her about the noise, and she instantly credits the Filipino faithful waving flags in the stands, turning every match into a vibrant family reunion. That connection is exactly why the energy in the arena feels electric when she plays, though naturally, the naysayers still lurk in the shadows. Skeptics argue she needs to hoist a major trophy before they are willing to stamp her passport to legitimate superstardom. Yet, one look at her ascent, smashing into the top 50 and rapidly climbing to 31, reveals a trajectory that is undeniably upward. This is no flash-in-the-pan viral moment. It is the calculated result of grit, strategic planning, and ironclad mental resilience. Off the court, the commercial demand for her signature is experiencing a massive tidal wave of interest. Global brands are circling, eager to attach themselves to the marketable fresh face, redefining women's tennis for Southeast Asia. In a landscape historically ruled by Western titans, the ascension of a Filipina star feels both incredibly refreshing and deeply symbolic. Observers view her as the vital bridge needed to steer the global tennis narrative toward true diversity and inclusivity. To the dreaming kids in Manila, Jakarta, or Bangkok, Alex stands as living proof that geography is not destiny when you have the mindset to compete. That influence resonates far louder than any scoreboard ever could, shifting the very perspective of the generation rising behind her. Ultimately, the hard courts of Indian Wells could serve as yet another pivotal chapter in this unfolding saga. A deep tournament run would launch her stardom into the stratosphere, but regardless of the final match statistics, one truth remains absolute. This phenomenon is far from a fleeting moment of hype. It has cemented itself as a tangible force. It has evolved into a movement, carrying the collective aspirations of a nation desperate to believe they belong on the world stage. Entering Indian Wells ranked 31st is not just a stat. It symbolizes the dawn of a brand new era in her professional journey. She has graduated from promising talent to a certified box office attraction, capable of packing stadiums and commanding global eyeballs. From her breakthrough in Dubai to earning a seed at a major WTA event, her climb up the professional ladder has been methodical and hard-earned. Of course, there is crushing pressure, there are vocal critics, and there are heavy expectations resting on the face of Philippine tennis. Yet she meets every challenge with a composure rarely seen in a 20-year-old. It is not just her ranking that is skyrocketing. Her cultural footprint across Southeast Asia and the sport itself is expanding rapidly. No matter how the brackets play out in the desert, one fact is undeniable. This phenomenon has transcended simple hype to become a formidable, undeniable global presence. As she battles on the grandest stages, she carries an entire archipelago on her shoulders, all believing the best is yet to come.